Hello and welcome to this fertility yoga class for menstruation. So this class is to be practiced when you've got your period, and I think it's a really important time in our cycle when we're trying to conceive to still put the effort in. So I know it can feel like, in all honesty, absolute shit at this time of the cycle when you're trying to conceive, because it's like yet another month, it hasn't worked. You're thinking, what's going on? You're probably grieving for the child that you thought you were going to conceive. It's really challenging, and I know how challenging it is. You feel yuck, you're bloated, you feel like your body's failing you, and you can probably just want to curl up on the couch and do a whole lot of nothing or chocolate eating. I totally get it. And you can do a lot of that, but can I also encourage you to find a yoga practice as well and to make some time for this as well, because it's really important. So this stage of the cycle, when you're trying to conceive, it's an ending, but it's also a beginning. This time of the cycle is perfect for inner work because we're already naturally tired and lethargic. We want to kind of sloth around. We don't feel great in our bodies. It's not a social time, it's a time to turn inwards. And this is perfect when you're trying to conceive, because it's really important at this stage of the cycle to let go of what's not working for you. So was last month really stressful? Were you strung out in all areas of your life? Ask yourself, how is that working for you? How is that helping you to create a non-stressful environment, to create space for a baby? So I want you to take some time before you get into your yoga practice. So maybe you just journal it out at this stage. Maybe you talk to a close friend or to your partner or husband, and just try and find some clarity about what didn't work last month and what can you let go of. Not in a blaming way, not in a I did all this wrong, but just in a I'm going to take a look at it and something's not working here and I'm going to release that. Oftentimes it's not a physical thing, it's a thought pattern, a belief we have about ourselves, about our bodies, about our ability to conceive. And it's these thought patterns and these beliefs that are holding us back. So before we start our practice today, I'd like you to just take time to consider what it is that you need to let go of from the last cycle. So when you're practicing yoga during this stage of the cycle, we don't do any closed twists. We don't really like compression on the belly because we want to let the body naturally do what it needs to do at this stage, which is shed all of that old lining without us affecting it in any way. So we're also not doing inversions because that would take the flow of energy in the wrong direction. We want to keep it all flowing down. We also don't do any pelvic floor locks because you don't want to hold tight that mula bandha, because you want the energy and the old blood to freely flow out to create space for the new and fresh energy of the new cycle. So today's class will be a nice, gentle class where really honoring this stage. It's a winter stage, so it's time to turn inward, to slow down, to rest as much as possible. And you may be tempted to push on, think, oh, well, I'm not pregnant anyway, I'm going to go do all this stuff. But remember, what we do in each phase of the cycle affects the whole cycle. So if you want to get those hormones beautifully balanced, if you want to tell the body that there's absolutely no stress, then you need to be doing these beautiful, restorative, caring practices throughout the whole cycle, not just during the time that conception is possible. So I'd love for us to work with a mantra in today's practice. The way I work with mantra in a yoga practice is simply just when I'm breathing, I just keep that thought flowing around in my head. So when I find my mind wandering to thoughts that aren't helpful, so criticism, self-criticism, destructive sort of thoughts, I bring it back to the mantra and just repeat it to myself. So the mantra for this stage of the cycle, and of course you're welcome to create your own, but this is just one I suggest, is I let go and release everything that is no longer serving me. I let go and release everything that is no longer serving me. And just as a reminder, you can add anything you like into that, whether it's negative thoughts, fears, toxic relationships, whatever it is that you've decided is holding you back, you might put that specific wording into your mantra as well for today's practice. Otherwise, let's get comfortable, get going. I thoroughly recommend working with a bolster during this stage of the cycle. It's a really beautiful way to open up the heart and to really rest into some of our poses. If you don't have a bolster though, you can just work with a couple of pillows stacked on top of each other, or if you have quite a dense round pillow, that will work perfectly too. All right, so we're going to start in our child's pose. So because we're probably feeling quite bloated at this stage of the cycle, I recommend child's pose with the knees nice and wide. And if you want to work with the bolster, it can be really nice to bring this under the chest. So you're really making space for the belly, there's no compression, and you can soften on down. So just bring the chest and the head to the bolster, soften down. I want you to let the belly completely release. So literally let the belly hang, no holding it tight any longer. Breathing deeply into the lungs and slowly exhaling. Breathing into the back of the body as well. And then inhale, slowly coming up. Just push the bolster out the way for the moment. Bring the hands out in front of you and just soften the chest down a little bit more, maybe bringing the chin down. Forehead if it's more comfortable for your neck. And then inhale, come up onto the knees. We're going to melt the heart down. So bring the knees under the hips and just let the hands slide forward as the heart finds the floor. This time the chin or the forehead can find the floor. And again, breathing into the space in the upper back. So oftentimes when we're feeling stressed and emotional, we hold it around this space. We hold it in the heart and we hold it in the back, especially the upper back holds a lot of that tension. So you just want to breathe into these areas and let it go. And then inhale, coming up. So come up and have a kneel. So just sit comfortably into the legs. So I want you to inhale, roll the shoulders back and down. Just making some space and movement here. Remember, it's really just about making you feel good today. So anything that doesn't feel good, please don't do it. And if there's anything that you want to do that I'm not guiding you into, please feel free to move in a way that suits your body. All right, as you inhale, clasp the hands, rise them up towards the chest. Exhale, press the hands away round through the upper back. Inhale, rise to the sky. Exhale, bring the hands behind, interlace, open up the chest. Exhale, release, bring the hands into the lap. Take a breath here and just repeat your mantra to yourself. And again, we repeat that. Inhale up, exhale away. Inhale to rise, exhale to open. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, release the hands. Repeat your mantra. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale, release the hands into the lap. Well done. Take one hand over to the side, inhale the other up and over. So getting a really nice stretch through that left side of the body. Inhale, coming back over to the opposite side. And gently release. All right, so from your kneeling position, just come down onto the bottom, bring the feet out in front of you. So soles of the feet find each other and make a nice big space with the legs. So the legs aren't too close to the body because we want some space for this belly that really doesn't want any compression at this point to be able to come forward. So as you inhale, lift and lengthen through the spine. So again, breathing into the chest, breathing into the upper back, and exhale, just softening forwards. With each breath, feeling the belly fill. And as you exhale, imagine the energy flowing downwards, because remember, you want to encourage all that lining to release. We want to make space for the fresh, new energy of the cycle that's coming. So gently leaning forward, lifting through the heart. And then inhale, coming up to sit. Bringing one leg out in front of you, the other one can come in. Inhale, lift and lengthen through the arms, and exhale, folding forward. So you'll notice that we're not really building much heat in today's practice. When you've got your period, wear as many clothes as you need to keep warm during your yoga practice. So socks as well at this stage if it feels good. We're not even coming up to stand today. Really gentle, lots of deep breathing, but still focusing the energy where we want it to go. So emotionally releasing what you need to release at this stage. If you're feeling sad, feel sad. Allow yourself to cry, let go. What happens on the mat stays on the mat, yeah? So if you need to let go, let it go. Be hysterical if you need to. It's better than holding on to those emotions and those energies. That's what I'm kind of talking about when I'm saying let go of the old cycle. And that sometimes means emotionally letting go as well. So just gently breathing forward as you fold over that leg. And then as you inhale, let's come back onto our mat. We're going to lie down, and this is where the bolster comes in really handy because it's a really nice way to support the body at this time, to really open through the chest and to make some space for that belly. So if you just lie over the bolster, again, if you don't have one, a few pillows will do. And just bring the soles of the feet in towards each other. We find Baddha Konasana. So we let the knees open out wide, and what we're doing is making a lot of space in these abdominal organs and in the reproductive system, as well as into the groin area as well. So we want to really open up this area, get the blood flowing as it should, and get the energy flowing as it should. I also want you to breathe into the heart space as we're here. Noticing anything you're feeling today and allowing it to release as it needs to. So if you're holding or gripping in the shoulders, see if you can breathe into that area and let it go. Feel yourself sinking into this pose. And then as you inhale, bring the knees back in towards each other and bring the soles of the feet to the floor. Make sure that the low back is comfortable, so you may need to adjust the hips slightly. And then as you exhale, just take the legs over to the left side. Breathing and opening up through the heart. And then exhale, take them over to the opposite side. You can even take the other arm wide and open if you want to create a bit more space. And then come back to the original side. Extending the arm if you like, looking away from the legs if it feels good. One more time. It feels so nice. Could stay here all day. All right, and then slowly release. Just want you to bring the hands to the belly now and just take some small circles with the hands on the belly. So we're not pressing, it's not compression. It's just encouraging that energy to flow. So we're working in a clockwise circle and really gentle and soothing. So as if you were rubbing the belly of a child. As you inhale, take the arms above the head, stretch the legs out long. So making some more space, pressing the toes away. Breathing as deeply as you can. And then when you're ready, getting yourself settled for Shavasana. So that may mean today that you stay on the bolster. I'm going to stay here. If you'd prefer to lie flat on your back, you're welcome to, or even come to the side or have a seat. So with each breath, feel the lungs filling. I want you to imagine all of the muscles relaxing. Softening and releasing. And then I want you to imagine yourself standing at the top of a spiral staircase. can look like whatever you like, so just imagine whatever the first thing is that comes to mind. And I want you to imagine yourself walking down the stairs one step at a time. Notice your hand as it sails down the railing. And notice as you move deeper and deeper into relaxation. And notice as you move down the stairs, you also move deeper and deeper into relaxation. Each step taking you a little bit further into yourself. You make it to the bottom of the stairs. At the bottom of the stairs, there's a door. You walk over to the door and you open the door, walking into a small room. You look around the room and it's filled with drawers upon drawers of paper, ornaments, memories. And this room documents everything that has happened in your life so far. It holds every memory, every fear, every negative thought you've ever had. Everything you've done is inside this room. I want you to look around the room and start gathering up anything that you know no longer serves you. So negative thoughts about yourself, about your body, gather them up in your arms. Memories, fears, anything that you need to let go of, hold them in your arms. And then you turn back towards the door, close it behind you and start walking back up the stairs. Step by step by step, you get all the way back up to the top. And at the top of the stairs, you notice now there's a window. Through the window, you can see a crisp, clear blue sky, and the sun is shining. You step towards the window. And with all your energy, you throw these things out, and they float off on the breeze, letting go of all the negative emotions you've been carrying. Any thoughts that aren't serving you, any toxic relationships, memories, fears, they're all gone out through this window. And as you stand here breathing in the fresh air, you feel lighter, freer, fresh, ready for a new cycle. Bask in this feeling for a few breaths. This feeling of lightness, of excitement, of possibility. And then when you're ready to start wriggling the fingers and toes, stretching the body out long. And then slowly bringing yourself back up to have a seat. Well done. I hope you enjoyed this little yoga flow for menstruation. Depending on how you're feeling now, sometimes after we bring up those emotions and we kind of stir them up with a physical practice, you may feel like you need to write. Remember, it's the perfect time for turning inward, so that's a really great practice to be doing now during your menstruation, is really journaling, taking that time to yourself. So maybe lessening the number of social occasions that you have. If you feel like you need to move that energy a little bit more, a walk can be a really great idea. So getting out without any distractions, so no earphones, no one to talk to, just walking and breathing in the fresh air can be a really great way to help shift the emotions that you want to let go of. I hope you enjoyed today's practice. I hope that you are feeling well. And remember, the self-care for the cycle starts here. This is the start of your new cycle. So it's up to you to let go of the old and set yourself up in the best possible way for conception in this new cycle. Enjoy the next couple of days, really taking the time to retreat into yourself, and I'll see you in the next cycle for the next part of your phase, which is spring. Namaste.